Hey guys, my name is JessiMew, and welcome back to Finch's Flight. In the last episode, Finch's brother Starling decided to join us up in the Highlands, and I know that Finch is very happy to have the support of his brother right by his side. He joined as our shopkeeper, and he actually has something perfect for us waiting inside his shop. So I'm hoping today we can gather up enough mews to maybe get our hands on the Highland style. It is absolutely adorable that he came all prepared to decorate our colony. How are you feeling today? Pockets heavy, paws feeling light? Hey, Finch, right? I try my best to remember everyone's names that I meet, but sometimes I mess up. Glad that I could remember yours. Starling seems to be a little bit scatterbrained today. We are your brother, Starling. Surely you remember that. He must just be teasing us. We figured that he probably went exploring all around the land after he left the forest colony, so he's probably met quite a few cats in his time too. And hello, Griffin. We finished making a little hideaway for him the other day, so that he would be able to escape any of his potential enemies. I'm glad I met you, as weird as that is. How did you even do that? I'm too grumpy to make friends. Yeah, you know we're not gonna give up on you, Griffin. Finch can be very, very persistent. We actually don't have any frogs in our pockets today, so I guess that's going to be a high on Finch's list of things to do. We have to get some more frogs to share with Griffin so he knows that we're thinking about him too. And Galen, we do have some herbs that we could possibly spare for you. On days like today, there are few patients. Instead of mending wounds, I use these days to study new plants and seek out new cures. Alright, good to know. Maybe you could even ask Starling if he has any new ingredients for you to use. I'm sure he came here prepared with plenty of the little treasures that he's found around the world. Hello, my liege. I have discovered a gold ore which I would for you to have. Oh, thank you again, Claudius. We actually have one of these sitting right inside our den, so we'll go ahead and place this next to it too. He's been filling our pockets lately with all sorts of things from the mines, so maybe he's hoping that we'll take another trip down there someday soon. I believe we are slowly chipping away at the Mystic Colony's influence over the Prairie quarry, so maybe if we do claim that as our own, we can go back in there to do a little bit more work for the moles. But right now, the battles next to our territory are a little bit more pressing, so Claudius, we are going to lend our cats a hand. We'll see how many guards we hopefully have over here. Oh my goodness, not very many at all. There are tons and tons of mountain cats. We figured that Leo was getting a little bit lax because it seemed like his guards were starting to lose their energy. They weren't as strong as they used to be. But now I'm starting to regret saying that, because he must have heard and he's sending in his stronger reinforcements. Well, thankfully one of our guards survived. Hey Finch, I've been lost for the past few hours. Good to see a familiar face. I must be going the right way. These cats are so scatterbrained today. Our colony is literally right next to you, Patches. If you just scoot on off to the right, then you can stumble straight into Claudius's arms, and he can guide you to your den. But I think the other battle was way down here next to the quarry, so we'll head that way next. We'll just see if maybe we can find some good resources to bring back home first. Some little licorice roots for Finch to tuck away in his den, to build more frog forts out of maybe, if he does end up finding a couple hopping around. Now I know Griffin is very, very grumpy, but I do wonder if he would like to participate in Finch's favorite pastime of making forts for all of his frogs. That's something he used to do ever since he was a kitten. So I'll bet Starling remembers that quite well. He actually used to build his forts right next to all of Starling's art projects. So who knows, maybe Starling would use that as an embarrassing little secret of our leader. Something to spread around the colony while we're not home. But since that catnip up in the Highlands grew back, that should mean that quite a few of our different plants are ready for us to harvest again. Some of the golden seal, of course. But more importantly, we'll have to head toward the swamplands to see if we can find the other catnip down there. I think there was even some in the prairie, so we'll have to swing by those tiles as well, because selling catnip is an even better way to make mews. And we do need a lot of them. Unfortunately, we're not getting the family discount from Starling, because he needs quite a few resources to make these new decorations. So hopefully the next battle will be a pretty good place for us to start. We'll just go ahead and maybe munch on some of these extra herbs just in case. We only have a couple of them left inside our pockets. Oh geez, and it looks like the Mystic Colony is not too happy that we were thinking about maybe going into their quarry. But thankfully one of our guards came by to help, though he's getting completely teamed up on. Oh my gosh, the poor little guy. He was only trying to lend a paw, and unfortunately he got completely shattered. Alright, well at least we had one more marigold to work with. Now we'll try to hopefully separate these cats. These cats hit very, very hard. They're not like the mountain domain. One swipe and we're basically done for. But we only have one more cat to go, and I think Finch is doing all right. He is getting a little bit hungry, but at least those mews will be a huge help. Yeah, now we're definitely going to have to heal up again before we go into the next battle. At least this time we'll have our guards, and we still have our summon allies skill too. So we could always call in some more if this one proves to be a little bit too difficult. But it seems like all of the Mystic Colony guards may have actually been at the quarry, because that one was super easy. Good job, you guys. Keep up the good work. I'm trying to focus right now if you don't mind. Alright, King, we'll leave you to it. We have work to do ourselves anyway. Oh, we might as well try to catch this bunny though if we can. There we go. I know the black hairs are worth a little bit more if we sell them to the shops, though Claudius might be slightly offended if we don't offer him up one of those big juicy rabbits pretty soon. It has been quite a while since we've left some offerings by his door. Oh, it sounds like they might be fighting again. Herring came a little bit late to the battle, but we'll scoop up his mews too. We're actually almost to 50 mews already. So I think we're doing pretty good. We haven't even started to sell off all of the different prey that we've caught yet. I did want to take a trip down to maybe the beach soon. One of you mentioned that Starling would really like shells as gifts, so I figured that would be a good place for us to start. Oh my goodness, another Mystic Colony cat. Unfortunately, we don't have our deep cut skill at the ready this time, and Jacob is really fast. Is he trying to maybe call some more allies? Or was he trying to use our methods maybe? Kind of jump in and then dip out before we can swipe at him? Well, it didn't work for him, but I think his allies may have heard him after all. So we'll pick up this lavender and then see if we can take out Mittens. I'm pretty sure Mittens had a friend over to the left, so we're going to have to be mindful that they don't notice us battling. So far, so good though. Finch managed to take out Mittens, and now we just have Carl. It would be wonderful if one of our guards might stumble into these battles too, but I think we're so deep into the prairie at this point that we're not going to find too many cats willing to lend us a paw. So one more battle all on your own, Finch, and then I think it might be time for you to call it a day. Yeah, we are definitely going to have to take a stop at Galen's Grove just to fill our pockets with herbs again. I guess that's why it would be a good idea for us to go back into the forest colony, because we know that they have plenty of herbs hidden all around their land. And we do have that catnip plant. I wanted to save that for the mews, but maybe we should offer it up to Sarge. That way they'll know that we're still doing our part in this alliance. We can sell off those black hairs though. So since I think Starling is probably asleep by now, we'll just give these to Coco instead. Our lovely doves, some of the mice that we've caught, and all of those bugs, of course, which gives us 30 more of these mews to work with. So we're almost at 100 now. We're getting super close, and I'll bet after a couple of battles tomorrow, we'll be right around the corner to our Highland style. So let's have Finch go to sleep for now. He's definitely going to have to eat a nice big meal in the morning. Maybe we should even break into one of the bunnies that we saved, if it's still in our pockets. Yeah, I think we'll have to share a little bunny breakfast with Claudius today. We know that he would appreciate it, and we know that Finch desperately needs the food. So we'll eat one of these. Oh my gosh, no wonder he loves them so much. The bunnies really do fill you up. Ah, I was just looking for one of these. Thank you, my liege. No problem at all, Claudius. Where do you suppose all the ladybugs are going? They migrate elsewhere every year. Yeah, we only see them around in the springtime, but I feel like this must be Finch's favorite season, because of course he has his own little ladybug friend that follows him everywhere he goes. Ruby the ladybug, who used to be one of Penny's pets, but they bonded so well with Finch that she decided to let them tag along. Now, did Galen like the Valerian? I know quite a few of our cats have been offended of this recently, but I'm pretty sure he likes it, right? Yeah, this is a pleasing thing. I accept your generosity. The dove seems a fitting gift for a ruler. Oh, thank you very much, Galen. Please accept it. Yeah, we certainly will. We'll put that right in our pockets and then hopefully sell it off later. Because as Galen knows, I'm sure, the doves often give us quite a good steady supply of mews. What's up, Finch? I'm actually glad I met you. Oh, Griffin. I guess he's really glad that he met us. Well, it's good to hear. Sometimes you can't tell from such a surly individual, but it's clear that he appreciates that we made the effort with him. And Starling, I hope you're feeling better today too. Sales are starting to pick up. It's a good time to own a shop. Well, we're actually going to go hunting for little gifts for you today as we head toward the forest. It's a really long trek down to the beach as well, even farther than the forest because this is literally on the opposite corner of the map. But it'll be worth it if Starling ends up liking the shells, because then at least we'll have a good gift to offer him every day. He used to love flowers when we were little, but after spending so much time adventuring out in the world, he's found that they're not exactly to his taste anymore. So that's why we need to figure out what he likes now and hunt down as many treasures as we can find. There's quite a bit of lavender growing today, so that's a good sign too. We could potentially spread that right around this Prairie quarry so we can finally take it as our own. Yeah, I think after that battle, we should be in a pretty good position in the quarry, as long as we can survive at least. But with the extra herbs in our pockets, I think we'll be okay. Yes, our first frog of the day! Oh, thank goodness. I was starting to think that Finch wasn't going to find any of his little froggy friends out here. Yes, and some more catnip. Okay, so we can give one of them to the forest colony today, and then we can keep the other one to sell off for the mews. Now we'll have to take care of these battles super quick if we want to have enough time to get to all of those special places today. So let's just go ahead and munch on one of the rabbits again, I think. We're going to save that frog for Griffin. Have to make sure that we have a good gift to give him as well. We'll spread some of the lavender around here so we have this under our control, and then we'll get ready to charge back into battle. This time we have all of the herbs that we'll need to heal ourselves if things get rough, but we have quite a few cats on our side this time. Quite a few interestingly colored cats too, though unfortunately they were all taken out. One of them had the most gorgeous calico coat. Distracted me a little bit, but I guess we're going to have to call in our allies to help us now. We'll just go ahead and munch on some of this marigold and then call out for help as we use our lion's roar to scare away our enemies. You know, that lion's roar is such a helpful skill, and Finch has nearly perfected the art as well. He can be a very intimidating presence when he wants to be. So the quarry must nearly be under our control by now. Yeah, just one more of these lavender plants and then we own it completely. So I guess the only thing left to do is scoot on over here and make sure that we spread some of our lavender in the Prairie West too. That way we won't have quite so many mystic guards trying to chase us down if we do decide to do a little bit of work for the moles. Really, Tucker? Really? Coming out here to prove me wrong? Well, it must just be because we have that battle directly above us. Maybe this guy was a little bit too frightened to take on all of our guards, so he thought he would pick us off instead since we're all alone. You know, I'm not sure if we're going to have enough energy to take this one on right now. Maybe we'll want to come back to that later, once all of our skills are ready again. And speaking of which, maybe we should see if we could upgrade one of our skills. Oh, should we spend that on fighting? We are so close to being master fighters. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. Since we're getting into so many battles lately, the extra punch would be quite appreciated. And now we're down to 1 measly experience point left. But I'm sure we'll gain it all back quick enough. Okay, River, we're leaving. We're getting out of here. We have too much to do today anyway, and it's already getting so very late. Those battles do take quite a bit out of Finch. And in fact, let's go ahead and munch on one of our valerian plants, and then dart straight to the heart of the forest. We're not going to make any major stops along the way, unless we happen to find some herbs to pick up, or particularly some catnip. I think that's the only thing that could distract Finch at this point. And speak of the devil, there's some catnip and golden seal, so we might as well scoop them up. Yeah, we'll go straight over to their borders, throw that catnip right down at Sarge's feet, and then we'll head down to the beach so we can hopefully pick up just a couple of shells before Starling goes in for the night. I'm not sure exactly when Starling goes to bed, but I would imagine, just like all of the other cats that we've interacted with, he probably doesn't stay up past like 9 o'clock or so. I think that's when Ember used to turn in, and so far he's proven himself to be quite a bit like our old mew-loving friend. So there's your catnip, Sarge. Now our reputation is at 80%, so we have quite a bit of a wiggle room to work with. We won't have to worry so much about losing all of our reputation while we're still within their colony's territory. So everything from here on out should be safe. We'll just scoop up this lovely lavender, of course, the same one that Penny always used in her journeys, and maybe munch on a little bit of extra food too, because we don't want Finch getting too tired out here. That's just going to make him sluggish. Finch has only been to the beach one other time since he took over the Feather Colony, so he hasn't explored this area very much, and I'm sure that's just because it's so far away. But still, collecting seashells in the water reminds him so much of his younger days. It reminds him of Piper, who always loved to collect these little trinkets. So I think it's probably one of his favorite pastimes. But there are so many shells down here. Oh my goodness. I guess Piper hasn't been around lately to pick them up. I wonder if that means that she may have moved on from the forest as well. Maybe she's out creating her own adventures in the world, just like Starling did before her. She was always a bit more of a shy creature. She was very, very quiet. She loved to whisper to all of her little mouse friends in the corner of the den. But she wasn't much of a fighter, and just as I feared, it looks like Starling did go in for the night. So we'll just drop off some of these little shells for him in the morning, right next to all of his crystals and his mews. That way he'll know that these gifts are meant for him. But yeah, since Piper wasn't much of a fighter, I do wonder if perhaps maybe Raven decided to go with her? Since Starling decided to join Finch up in the Highlands, I suppose it would make sense if the two sisters decided to start an adventure together too. But we'll sell off the extra scallop shells for now, our 2 little bits of catnip too, of course. And that's going to give us just enough to hopefully buy our Highland style as soon as Starling is awake in the morning. So it's taking 1 extra day. And for that matter, tomorrow is also going to be the Spring Festival, so I guess that means that we won't see him bright and early in the morning after all. We'll have to wait until the first day of summer to buy our new style, and then we can check it out in the bright summer sun. But for now, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye guys!